What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So last time we talked, I was out on my second property taking care of a few things for the landowner, just kind of some final things he wanted done before deer season, and I was kind of giving y'all an update on kind of what's going on with life. For those of you who didn't catch that video, we recently sold and purchased our home. So we had to move, get all that taken care of, and my wife also had surgery the same week we were moving. So pretty crazy stuff going on, but everything turned out great. She recovered phenomenally. There was no issues, no anything, honestly. So it all turned out great. She's back at work now. We are moved in and settled into our new house, so things are getting back to normal. Anyway, so if you've been around the channel a while, you know that if I can find a chance to hunt, I'm going to. So I did. I actually found a chance to get out on a Sunday morning after we had moved and after everything was settled in, right before the kids got back to school. So I wanted to let y'all take a look at some of the footage from this hunt, and then I wanted to show y'all some of the things that I'm going to be getting into for the remainder of 2020 and on into 2021. Let's take a look at the footage from the hunt, and afterwards we will dive into some of the things I have planned for the next few months. So it's a little harder to see blood because it is so overcast and everything's wet. So it's going to blend in with those leaves pretty well. But I saw him take off this direction. So we're just going to kind of start circling around the feeder. Last one I shot came this way, and we found him not too far back here. Now, I did see him kick after I took the shot. Did that little mule kick thing that they do. But he was small enough, I didn't know that I would actually heard a loud crash. But through this general vicinity is pretty much where they would have come through. Yep. So he didn't make it far. I was about 10 yards from the feeder. And he's just a spike, so not a huge dude at all. Looked like a little heart shot. So good shot placement's everything. I can't stress that enough. This was just a cold buck. He is tiny, but you can see he's a spike, so not a lot to this guy at all. So I'm gonna go get a rope ready and I'll get this guy out of the woods. So I couldn't expect a better result from that morning hunt. He came in early. It was probably, I don't know, probably about 6:20. So it was about 40 minutes before sunrise and about 15 to 20 minutes before legal shooting light. That's why the video of the actual shot seemed a little bit grainy. The sun wasn't completely up. So legal shooting hours, but the optic was not able to pick up the light it needed to provide the clarity that it typically does. So as you can see, I am in a different space. This is actually my office. So I have my work desk here. This is where I'll be editing videos and working from home as well too. A lot of you know that I do work from home, and it's provided me quite a bit of flexibility to just do the things I need to take care of, which is great. But I needed to have a space to where I could work in away from everyone, but having that space also provided me the opportunity to put up a space for me to work on my projects that don't require any type of power tools realistically. So I do have my reloading bench right here to the side of me, and I'll be reloading my ammo in here. As you can see, there's a couple of other things set up here as well too. This is just a new belt sander that I just picked up. I've been using the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener for the last couple of years, and it finally bit the dust. So I saw a deal on this guy for 49 bucks at Harbor Freight, and I also found a sharpening belt kit on Amazon for like $35. So I've got a total of about $85 invested into it, and that's going to let me sharpen all of my hunting knives, but also take care of kitchen knives and just any knife in general. And I can also sharpen lawnmower blades, axes, stuff like that. This guy's here now. Makes life a little bit easier, and it was quite a bit cheaper than getting into the Work Sharp again. So these components right here, you might be wondering what they are. Well, this is just a latch for like a corner bar, but the way I have it set actually has it to where it puts a little bit of tension on this, so it would hold something behind here is the idea. This is a push-pull solenoid, and this is a GSM switch. So this will actually give a signal to something once it receives a phone call or a text message, and it'll say turn on or turn off. So the idea is that this will hook up to the solenoid, tell it to turn on. When it turns on, it'll pull down like that, and all it does is pull down. So once that pulls down, it'll pull that down as well, releasing whatever this is holding. So with these three components, I should be able to automate my hog trap. And the reason why I'm wanting to do that is because this last season I went through trapping. I trapped 2 out of the probably 15 times that I set the trap. So I figured, you know, why not invest into it a little bit and give myself the gift of time back rather than having to go out and check it frequently. And to do all that, all I have to do is keep my camera up, keep a feeder in there, and just keep a watch. On the days that I'm wanting to trap, I'll have my camera set to instant detection, which will send a picture every time it senses motion. Then I will make sure that the gate's up once the hog trap's set, and this guy will do the rest for me. So essentially all I have to do is sit back and watch. Now, that might sound a little lazy, but you know, the way I'm looking at it, I set that trap probably 15 times and I trapped 2 pigs. 1 pig climbed out, 1 pig stayed in. So, you know, this is just a way of increasing my odds and also helping the landowner a lot more and putting more meat in my freezer too. So that's kind of the idea behind it. This is just my component box. It's pretty much where everything goes into whenever I'm not working on it. So it's not the tidiest, but this is functional for now. I do have a little shelving system going down here. It's not the tidiest, but everything's in place. It has a place and it's working and I can get to it. So this all works out really well. So I do plan on doing a video on setting this up and what you'll need to do to set up a trap with something like this. Now, I'm not going to do the video until I have all the components figured out and replaced. This component's actually going back because this was not adequate for this solenoid. So I'm going to get that sent back. Once I have everything finalized and it's functional, then I'm going to do a how-to video on how to set it up, what you'll need to get, where to buy it, the best prices for it, where to get your SIM card, how to keep it budget friendly, and essentially how you'll end up being able to trap more pigs with it too. And I can show y'all a video over knife sharpening with this. If it's something you're interested in, drop a comment down below. That way I just know if you guys really want to see that. If it is something you're interested in seeing, I'll do a video over it. So I'll show you how simple it is and actually how well it works. So I do want to show y'all a couple of things I've been able to pick up and kind of tell you some of my plans with them. This guy is just a infrared fryer. It's called the Charbroil Big Easy. They're like $100. They've been around forever, but I plan on using this for some hunt and cook videos. Yeah, I still got some things that I haven't really got put in place just yet. That's a just little portable 5-gallon bucket feeder that I put together. Deer's actually aging in the cooler as we speak. And show you some of the stuff we stumbled upon when we moved in, and show you another thing that I really like about this place. So when we moved in, I found this canoe sitting here. It looks to be in good shape. It's a 14-foot, has like a 750-pound capacity, which is crazy. So easily take 2 people or 1 person and some gear. But I want to show you this space. So this is my shop. A lot of people might be deterred by the fact that it's not finished, but for me, that just gives me something more to work on and keep me busy, which I don't mind at all. I do have a smaller sliding garage door. Might throw a winch on that. Probably not. It's small, it's light. There's really no reason to automate it or put anything on it. There was a bench already built in here, so that's one less thing I have to do. But it's just a good space to have for everything. I already got some tools in here. I did have to build a bench for some storage. This was just an old bunk bed that we had. I refurbished, made it into just a little small bench, and put a shelf that they had here on top as a topper for something smooth to put everything on. Shop already has AC in it. Don't have a heater, but it has AC, so during the summertime that's going to be huge. Pretty sure that's a back door that should be on the house, but isn't. No worries though. But it's already wired up with the 110 everywhere. Even has cable. Looks like that was set up for satellite or something to that effect. But overall, this is going to be a great little space to be able to work in, to film content, and just to get out of the house and really just dive into the projects. So good space. Really happy with what we have. Oh, so you can see we have another shed here. All this is going to be used for is lawn equipment and lawn tools, dog kennel. There's a fire pit back here too, which is great. Got a pretty big backyard as well too. Wondering, that's just what I put up to hang the deer from. I decided to go ahead and do that here with the kids because they've never experienced that, and they were all interested to see what the process looked like. So I actually worked with my kids on processing that spike, which that was a experience in its own. Gorgeous view of sunrises, and overall just a huge backyard, great space. So plenty of room for toys, projects, the dogs, whatever else. So got a little bit of work to do back here, but right now with it being winter, there's just not a lot. It's cold. Nobody wants to be outside. Heck, the dogs are racing to the door to get in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you what else I have. This is a 16 by 50 Monarch. Now, this is just a shell. I do plan on cleaning it up a lot. You can kind of see where I've been playing with the pressure washer a little bit, seeing if some of this will clean up. But unfortunately, that's gonna have to be recarpeted. But it looks rough, but I think it's gonna be a great boat. So most of you know I do have a John boat that I've been fishing out of for the last several months. It's been great, but the thing with that John boat is that it is so unstable when it comes to carrying one or two people in it that it's just a better idea to go ahead and get into something a little bigger and a little bigger. This is going to be a world of difference for being out on the water, and also allow me to get out into some public land as well too. That was kind of the idea of getting something similar to this. The great thing is that the plywood used to cut and put over the casting decks is still here. So all I have to do is pull these guys up, draw my lines, make my cuts, and I'm golden. I won't really have to do much else. You can see where the motor has mounted before. I plan on getting at least a 40 horse. I'd like to really get up to a 60, but we'll just kind of see what opportunities present themselves. It did come with gas tanks, and you can see there's all kinds of crap in here. This was just a good buy. I knew it was a shell. I knew it was going to be a project. That was the point. So it is a 87 Monarch. Did come with a Motor Guide 12 volt trolling motor. It does have the pedal control. Still have yet to test it out, but I'll give it a test. If it works, that's going to be great. If not, then we'll kind of go from there and see what'll need to be added to it. Trailer's in pretty decent shape. It pulls good, so not going to really worry about doing too much with it. Honestly, I'm probably just going to paint it and make sure the lights work, and that'll be that. Everything else looks good though. So this will be a project that I get started on probably immediately after deer season. And once we get this rolling, it should be ready by the time spring fishing comes around. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm really glad to be settled in and getting back to creating the content. I really felt like cueing you guys in on what to expect over the next few months was really important. And I got to show you some pretty good footage of a deer hunt I went on. I mean, it wasn't your typical hunt video like I've done, but you know, every now and then I just like to go out and enjoy a hunt. So I honestly did not record a lot. I needed a little time to myself, and honestly just didn't bring much equipment. I literally had my cell phone and had my scope, and that was it. And I can tell you I thoroughly enjoyed the hunt because it was just quiet. There wasn't any extra to it, and sometimes that's just what you got to do. But you guys got to see it, and that is also huge too. If you're new to the channel, be sure to go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that way you're notified when new content is available. But that's all I got for you, and I'll catch you on next week's episode.